Hello there, ladies and gentlemen. Moletrap here, coming at you with game number 2 of the Group C tiebreakers of the 2004 Ever OSL. I know I say that a lot, and you guys are, so those of you that are like watching, you know, these videos in a sequence, and you kind of know what's coming. I still like to say that at the beginning, just because I feel like it's just like a nice little official start to a video. So if someone happens upon it just randomly somehow and they want to know the context and they're blind and they can't read the video description, which, you know, hey, maybe blind people like watching StarCraft too, then you know, just wanted to make that little announcement at the beginning. So hopefully it's not annoying or anything like that. I guess I can cut it out, it's not too necessary, but gets things rolling. And anyway, so today we got a game between GoRush and iloveoov, and this is the second game of the tiebreaker match. If you didn't watch the first game already of the tiebreaker match, then well, you might be interested to find out that Oov actually lost his tiebreaker game to Sync after losing to Sync in the round of 16 as well in their group play. So kind of crazy situation that Sync seems to have Oov's number and is able to beat him consistently. So, but anyway, yeah, so this is a three-way tiebreaker between Oov, Sync, and GoRush, and it's a round robin, and whoever wins 2 games will advance, and then between the other 2, whoever beat the other one will advance as well. So right now, if Oov loses this game, he's out. He's out. He's down 0-1. If he loses 0-2, then you know, it's just it means that they don't even have to have another game, I guess, because both players, they actually may play the third tiebreaker game just to see who advances in first, and who advances in second from the group. I'm not sure what the rules are for that. If they go back and they look at their game in the group stage or something like that, which I believe GoRush beat Sync in the group stage. So I don't know. Anyway, but point being, Oov needs to win this game in order to stay in it, and then it'll be up to what would be the final game between GoRush and Sync. But yeah, and again, just a reminder, I've said this a few times, but in case you were deaf before, because we're having a lot of people with disabilities watching StarCraft apparently in my mind today, and you know, I'm kind of making a joke here, but you know, that's awesome if people can find a way to enjoy StarCraft despite not being able to enjoy certain aspects of it. So don't get me wrong. But anyway, we got a drone runner on scouting here, and he's checking out the gas. He sees 3 SCVs mining gas right now, and that's why you can hear the Korean commentators getting a little bit excited in the background that this scout is going on and seeing exactly what's happening. That he's revealed that he's going for a mech strategy, so, or at least going for early vultures. You know, this is 2004, and things are played a little bit differently. So it seems like, you know, sometimes we see vultures into bio play. Theoretically. Now, the fact that he'd floated his barracks meant that he wasn't really leaning that way, but I didn't see if maybe Oov landed his barracks again. But in any case, as I was saying, in case you hadn't heard before, Oov, at this point in time in history, is basically the best ever at TVZ. He came off a streak of 25 straight wins in a row against Zerg players in professional play, and was finally stopped by July Zerg. But GoRush is not July Zerg, but he's on a similar level to July Zerg, so maybe he can pull off an upset here as well. I actually don't know if Oov... Oh, he's going to lose that Overlord! Oh, he barely loses the Overlord just before, and it looks like that drone was kind of coming in to like try and do some distraction, and that's a starport actually. He's getting a starport down after this factory. What is going on here? This is kind of a nut strategy. I'm curious to see where this is going. Is he going to go for like Wraiths or something like that? Force GoRush into Hydralisks maybe? And then, you know, he theoretically even switch back into bio against the Hydras. I don't know. This is kind of weird. But yeah, so the point being here, Oov, he's playing a kind of a weird strategy here, and it may be, you know, he's making vultures. This could be for a dropship, so he can drop those vultures as well. This map is a good map for dropship play. But yeah, yeah, Oov definitely has the advantage here. He just seems to have everyone's number when it comes to TVZ. So we'll see if he can continue playing that strongly. And we do have a Hydralis Den going down. Obviously, the Hydralis Den is A second starport? He is making wraiths. This is crazy. Wow. Because, I mean, like, Hydralisks are good against vultures, too. So, like, seeing that there was any kind of a gas structure build means that Hydralisks are going to be a good thing to have, right? I think probably in the modern day, you would see players still try and deal with vultures without Hydralisks. They would probably go for Zerglings and speed, maybe get a sunken colony. So, you know, but it's still very reasonable to go for Hydras here, and he is going to be able to attack away at that vulture. Actually, is the vulture going to win because it has the high ground? So the Hydralisk is missing some of its shots, and no, the Hydralisk barely does come out ahead in that. But yeah, so Hydras are going to be good against vultures, but they're also going to be good against wraiths. Very good against wraiths, in fact. Hydralisks are kind of a counter to wraiths. So this is a really interesting situation where we have OOV, you know, kind of, and he knows that his opponent has scouted this, and now he knows that his opponent has Hydralisks, although he didn't know before, but he could have predicted Hydralisks in response. And what is going on there? Was there a machine shop that was canceled? Is that what happened there? Maybe once he's got a, I don't, that doesn't make sense. Why would he scout the Hydralisks and then cancel the machine shop? You would want to get tanks if you knew the opponent was getting Hydralisks. But anyway, I mean, he isn't necessarily getting mass Hydras or anything like that. And in fact, he is going to go ahead and go in here and scout the Spire. So, and maybe he scouted that before and I didn't notice that. Maybe that's one of the reasons why he decided, okay, tanks are not going to do anything here. But yeah, this is a wacky game. We got mass wraiths being made. The cloak is being upgraded as well for those wraiths. So OOV is just, he's basically going to try and go for this kind of a containment strategy because you can't kill an opponent with Hydralisks with wraiths, right? So I mean, the wraiths are going to have to serve a purpose of a containment thing, because he's going to have to say, okay, you can't go out of your base because your overlords are slow. And if you try and exit your base with slow overlords, I'll kill off the overlords, and then I'll just cloak and kill everything, right? And that's what he's doing right now. He's killed off the overlord, and now these wraiths have free reign to just ignore the Hydralisk and continue attacking drones. Now we do see that he's actually putting up a spore colony, his main mineral line, and all he has to do is put another spore in his a natural in his other mineral line, and he'll be fine. He got some. Oh, the overlords are coming in here to spot. He's got some Scourge as well. He's going to try and pick me. He's got a lot of Scourge, actually. Now he can actually cloak, and this is going to be a very careful dance where he has to get out of range of the Overlord vision, and then he can actually kill the Scourge from outside that range because the Overlords are slow, and that's exactly what we see happening there. Looks like he's running out of energy on those Wraiths, though, at least some of them. So he's going to have to retreat for now just because he needs enough cloak energy to actually function. Otherwise, the Scourge will probably pick off those Wraiths if they try and do anything without the cloaking ability to protect them. So anyway, so crazy stuff going on here, and he's actually gotten some Mutalisks as well. So is he gonna try and go for air versus air battle? I mean, the Zerg is gonna win an air versus air battle if they can get enough overlords alongside everything to keep the vision. You know, Mutalisks are not necessarily going to be the best against Wraiths, especially if the opponent is outnumbering you by having built Wraiths ahead of time before you got your Spire up. But the Scourge can more than equalize it, right? If you just land one Scourge on every Wraith, suddenly they're all at low hit points, and your Mutalisk can clean up fairly easily. So, you know, doing the air superiority thing is definitely a good way to go here. And it looks like we do have OOV switching back into a bio build in kind of to follow this up. And we do have spores at every base, but you know, that's a fair amount of minerals that had to be spent there for the 3 drones, the 3 colonies, the 3 spore upgrades. Adds up to quite a bit. Anyway, those Wraiths coming in here just trying to do some damage. He says, I got these Wraiths. I need to actually try and accomplish something with them. I don't think there's any more Overlords on the map. It's hard to see on the minimap with the amount of pixels we've got to work with here, but I feel like those Wraiths can't really be doing a whole lot. Nice little cute scouting Scourge running around over here. Just going to run onto the base, see what's going on. And just see the 2 ports and scout the barracks as well. So he sees that there's 2 barracks there. I mean, again, to be expected though. So here we have OOV pushing across the map now with a Bioforce, and this is going to be a really interesting engagement. I have no idea how this is going to go, but we're going to have Medic Marine Wraith versus Muta Scourge Hydra Ling. And I can't believe I just said that, honestly. And here these Wraiths trying to do some damage as well. They're falling back, and again, GoRush needs to stay within range of those Overlords, and you can see he's got 2 grouped up there with them because he wants to make sure that the Wraiths can't just pick off the one Overlord and immediately win. But 2 is even maybe not enough though. But actually 2 Overlords is enough that, and here actually the Medic Marines coming into the side base, and if he can use the Marines to pick off the Spore colony, he's actually targeting the drones first, but the Spore is going to get down fairly quickly as well, and the Hydralisks are going to pop out just in time to be absolutely slaughtered by the Marines here. And GoRush, he's waiting for something here because maybe he just feels that he can't deal with this force, and he's going to fall back and let OOV just pick apart this 3rd base of his, or actually even, you might even call it 2nd base, because his other base is just like a half a base, basically, just a few mineral patches. And for some reason, I thought he had dropped, and he was going to go in and try and pick up those drones inside of the Overlords and get them out again. But it looks like GoRush is going for a counterattack. Hydralisks are pushing out to try and kill off these turrets that were built, and the Mutalisks are going to go for a counterattack all the way across the map. They are very mobile, and so they're going to be able to get across the map here fairly quickly, do damage to this command center. OOV not deciding to cancel it just yet. The Wraiths are coming in to combat, and that's going to bait in the Scourge. The Scourge going in, he's going to try and split them, and the Marines are there to kill off the Scourge, though. This is a sheer micro battle, ladies and gentlemen. Each player has something that can counter the other player's army in part, and they're going to have to micro against it to make sure that their advantage is utilized and their opponent's advantage is not. And he picks off one of the Overlords that got stray. No, does he not have any Overlords? The Overlords got separated from the Mutas. They got separated from the Mutas at a different group, and they got picked off by the Wraiths. And so just one quick cloak, and suddenly any advantage those Mutalisks have is just completely obliterated, and he is forced to retreat with those Mutas. More Overlords are of course crossing the map. They're not too expensive to get. But, and he has the speed upgrade, of course, now as well, which is going to make them useful at all. And Hydralisks as well, though, but this is kind of, I mean, Hydralisks just get destroyed by Medic Marines. He's going to have just a perfect engagement here. And here actually he's going in. The Wraiths are here. The Overlords are overhead to scout the Wraiths. But the Mutalisks just dive in first. The Hydralisks were a little bit too shy and fell back. The Mutalisks took all of the Medic Marine attacks, and they got slaughtered, and now the Hydralisks go in after the fact, and they're going to get slaughtered, and now the Overlords are going to get slaughtered as well. Everything's going to get slaughtered, and this is indeed turning into just a slaughter. And like I said, you know, look, even cancels the base, I think, not because it was in danger, but because he just doesn't have the money, and he needs the money to make more units, because the base isn't going to help him right now with these Medic Marines bearing down on him. And OOV is turning around? OOV is turning around and going back? Is there a threat that I don't see right now? He has +1 weapons they're putting up, by the way, which makes him even stronger against Mutalisks, and of course against the Hydras. Okay, looks like that potential base was scouted, but he counseled it when it wasn't even under attack. So this is absolutely insane. And I was saying that, like, you know, each player had something that could counter the others, and they just needed to utilize it. The Wraiths countered the Hydras countered the Wraiths, the Medic Marines countered the Hydras, and OOV just found a situation where he could use the Medic Marines against the Hydras, and kept the Wraiths away from the Hydralisks. So GoRush not able to engage the right combo that he wanted to, and yeah, this is kind of crazy. And it looked like he had a bunch of Scourge earlier too, and I'm not sure what happened to the Scourge. Maybe I blinked and I missed it, and they were killed by the Wraiths or killed by the Medic Marines or something like that in their earlier attack. But the Scourge in the mix could have turned things around, but just a slightly uncoordinated attack for GoRush. And now he's just kind of running around the map with these Hydralisks. They're just waiting to die, basically. Oh, maybe he's hunting for those Wraiths. And the Wraiths are actually passing right by. There's a Spore in here, and he actually has enough Wraiths that he can power down a Spore. And here's another combat coming up here, and actually OOV a little bit out of position with his unit spread out, is going to lose a few units, and the Hydralisks are giving chase. Now, of course, Medic Marines do very well against Hydras, but if you're outnumbered 2-1 with the Hydras versus the Marines, it doesn't matter as much. And now he's baiting him into the tank fire, though, and 3 tanks is all he needs. 3 tanks is going to be more than enough to deal with the mass Hydras that we see right now. Obviously, if it was just the tanks versus the Hydras could overpower, but with the Medic Marines there as well, the Hydras can't get close enough to tanks to deal with them without taking too much damage. And so GoRush has just gotten outplayed here in terms of the strategy, the meta game, the mind game of this game has gone to OOV. consistently here. We do have lurkers coming out. Again, of course, lurkers able to deal with medic marines, but not able to deal with tanks fairly well. So, and look at these wraiths just picking off of stray hydralisks. Going back over to the mineral line. He's actually going to put some damage on the hatchery. Nope, just going to go ahead and continue away, and just, he knows the hydralisks are nearby. Oh, is he going to get cornered actually? He makes sure to fall back to overlords behind the hydralisk this time, and he's attacking into this expansion, but he doesn't have any hydralisks in his main to corner those wraiths. He had an opportunity to actually pincher those wraiths, and he didn't take advantage of it, so missed opportunity there for GoRush. And, you know, again, this is 2004, so, you know, I think in 2011, Jaedong would have pinchered those wraiths, but we can't hold GoRush to that standard exactly. But he is fighting fairly well and actually managing to stay in this game, managing to produce a lot more units than I would have expected him to, considering the economic damage that has been done here. Losing more overlords around the map here, but this march of tanks and medic marines, I think, is the killing blow. I don't think GoRush is going to survive this very much, but he's actually coming in for a counterattack. Walks past the empty bunker with a couple lurkers, and is going to plant down right in the middle line. Oh, there's the potential for some slaughter. Oh, there's the slaughter. Oh, if he attacks the right spot, he's going to kill so many. The SCVs aren't even running away from the... They ran away from the minerals, but they didn't actually run away from the lurkers, and so the SCVs just get slaughtered as well. This has been a game of slaughter, ladies and gentlemen, and he's even going to pick off a few more hydralisks here, but now Oov is coming into that second base of GoRush, and GoRush is probably getting close to mine out in his main right now. Now, does Oov have a side base on the bottom right? It's hard to tell, but either way, if they're even in economy, I think that's good for Oov at this point. He's going to be able to siege up on the high ground too. Siege tanks on the high ground on this map are just devastating, and he's going to be able to start picking away the ground defenses there. And I mean, I don't know how you get out of this position without. I mean, if he had like secretly been developing hive tech, and suddenly we see. You know, 4 Guardians and 8 Devourers come out, because we need the Devourers. You know, normally a few Guardians would be enough to deal with this, but with that many wraiths in the air, you actually would need something else to deal with them as well. And what is going on here? Oh, these lurkers are on stop. These lurkers are on stop. Can he get a huge slaughter remove here on these Marines at a crucial moment? And he's waited too long, and the moment has passed. And now he goes in with the wraiths at the same time while these lurkers are on top of the tanks. It's a beautiful move by GoRush, actually. It looked like he had waited, and I thought it was too long because the medic marines had gone too far into his base. I didn't realize that he had the hydralisks coming in from the north to bait those marines back into the lurker fire while they were low on health from being stemmed. Kills off a number of marines and a couple tanks, but it's not enough. As you can see here, Oov has still a significant force pushing in to the main base now of GoRush, and there's nothing he can do about it. With mass hydralisks, there's nothing he can do about these Marines. He would need some lurker lings to come in on this, especially specifically lurkers to deal with this, and he just doesn't have it. He has loaded up a bunch of hydralisks, it looked like, maybe some lurkers into those overlords, and he was heading up to the north there. We're going to see if this actually accomplishes something. So this is a last-ditch desperate counter doom drop attempt by GoRush. His base is being invaded. He's losing the game right now. He's basically lost the game, and he's going to do some lurker shenanigans over here at the natural where he drops in the main. I think, is he going to try and drop on top of those tanks? Where are the overlords? There are the overlords. They're going into the main, and the wraiths are attacking those lurkers, so they're not in the right position, and the hydralisks are going to be dropped everywhere inside the main base. But is it going to be enough? He can go after the infrastructure, but he doesn't quite. I don't know if he has the DPS to actually kill all those buildings in time. And look at this. Oov is actually bringing his forces back as well. So yeah, I just don't think he has. And he's actually going to get that ComSat station, which might be pretty handy if he has more lurkers to follow up. But the medic marines have returned. They're going to clean up these hydras, and GG is going to happen in just a few seconds. If I can count it down again. 3, 2, 1. Oh, no, couldn't call it again this time. Anyway, but there's GG written on his face. That's what I was counting down to. GoRush looking very much defeated, and he has been defeated here because Oov also has control of his natural expansion, which means he's mining, whereas GoRush is not really mining at all. He might still have a few patches left at his main, but it's not. I don't know. I don't see any way back for him in this. He just needed to get a more. Yeah, and look at that critical. He didn't even kill much in the main base. He killed like a factory, a ComSat station. Didn't even finish off the science facility there. yeah, I mean, he needed to get a larger mass of lurkers that could run in and deal with the Medic Marines, and he just never quite accomplished that. He just kept going for Hydralisks. I'm not sure what's with the Hydras. Lurkerling, I mean, he's dealing with these Wraiths, but maybe have, like, some Hydras around, I guess. And again, of course, you know, this is 2004, so we're looking at this with the hindsight and caster vision, so obviously a different situation, but I just feel like the Wraiths weren't that much of a threat that he needed to go mass Hydras against tanks and Medic Marines, which are like counters to Hydras. I feel like going for more Lurkerling with like one control group of Hydras behind them to like be a fallback point to deal with the Wraiths, maybe, or maybe some Scourge, or maybe just, you know, not lose his Mutalisks. I don't even know what happened to the Mutalisks. Oh no, that's right. He attacked in with those Mutalisks early on with the Hydras in the back to try and kill Oov's army, and it was coordinated, so he lost all the mutas early. So yeah, I mean, if he had those mutas and he kept them around as a threat, if he kept the mutas and Scourge around to like keep as a threat against the Wraiths as like a backup, so when the Wraiths come in to attack the Lurkerling, you go in with the mutas and the Scourge or something like that. That could have been a way to deal with it. Not sure. But yeah, tanks now streaming across the map as well. This secret expansion attempt, the drones that were going up here to mine there are just going to arrive barely in time to witness the death of the hatchery that they were planning on mining from. And yeah, look at this. Oov has never lost control of the choke point. And look, he's actually even, oh my, is he really seriously, is he, okay, maybe I didn't see what was happening there. It looked like he was going to distance mine with overlords, where you like, this is like the most desperate form of distance mining, where you mine a bunch and then you pick up your drones and overlords and ferry them back into your base and offload them and return cargo and then pick them up again and bring them back. And anyway, so I'm not going to embarrass myself by counting down again, but GoRush is gone, and this game is done, and it's just a matter of a little bit of time before he does leave. So anyway, so it's going to be, there's the 1-to-1. So there's the GG rather. It's going to be 1-to-1 in this series. 1-to-1 for Oov, I should say. GoRush is now at 0-1, and Sync is at 1-0. So the next game is going to be GoRush versus Sync. And so if Sync wins that, then he'll be at 2-0. And he will advance with Oov, and he'll have 1-1, right? But if GoRush can actually beat Sync, then it'll be 1-1, 1-1, 1-1. And it'll be a three-way tie again, and we'll go to a second set of tiebreakers. So looking forward to that match. GoRush versus Sync should be really cool, actually, because Sync is a very, very strong player. He's not quite as strong as Oov in the TVZ, so GoRush might stand a chance against him, and we'll have to see if he can do that to keep his chances alive getting out of the round 16. So yeah, anyway, hope you guys enjoy that. Thanks very much for watching, and we'll see you next time in Game 3 of the Tiebreakers.